Let's get to the next news topic of the day. Chris Mannix was first to report representatives of Canelo Alvarez and Ryota Murata are engaged in serious talks to stage Canelo Murata fight in Japan in the spring, a la May. Sources tell Sports Illustrated. Murata holds a secondary middleweight title, blah, blah. I think Kopp came out, I think like 5 minutes before his show started and sort of reiterated this as well.
Yeah.
Added something that, shout out to the homies at Asian Boxing, great outlet to follow, guys. If you don't follow Asian Boxing on Twitter, or just that's a website you don't go to often for boxing, you need to. Just telling you right now.
Nice guy.
Oh, great guys. The entire team over there is fantastic. They confirmed, well, I kind of knew that this would be a Sunday in Japan. Let's say card starts at 10 a.m., main event at 2 p.m. sort of thing. And then it'd be prime time in the U.S. to accommodate the U.S. DAZN subscribers, because Murata cannot be on DAZN. He has a Fuji TV deal, so therefore this fight in Japan, where DAZN has a massive following and is a massive market leader, can't get access to this fight. So because of that, they're going to try to accommodate more of the U.S. subscribers, is the thought from Coppinger and others that have been reporting this. Guys, thoughts on Canelo Murata? I know we're going to get to the whole Canelo Charlo offer that was last year. I know Gary's really wants to talk about that one, but this is what's happening next. I feel like it has more value. So, guys, thoughts on Canelo Alvarez versus Ryota Murata in May in Japan? I don't know who wants to jump on that one first. Gary?
Gary, you can.
Go ahead, Rob. I want to hear what you have to say first. Go ahead.
Oh,
polite.
I guess DAZN on a low budget scale are going to get Canelo Triple G, because I've always said Murata is like the poor man's Triple G. Yeah, look, it's going to, I guess, do insane numbers over there.
Quick take. Murata's a bigger star than Triple G, without doubt.
Yeah, but I just mean fighting.
Just want to piss off the Triple G fans.
Oh,
back to you, Rob.
You don't know what numbers Triple G does in Kazakhstan.
It's not 20 million, 30 million people.
I don't even know if they have that population.
I'd imagine, just on pure numbers. Although I don't know how big Kazakhstan's a fairly large country.
I don't know.
Is it?
I think
in a minute.
One of us could easily just Google the population of Kazakhstan. We all are in front of our computers, assuming.
And then you can put it up on the pop-up scroll thing, Matt.
Give me a second.
The population of Kazakhstan.
Matthew D'Souza is asking what weight is Canelo versus Murata. There has been some discussion about it being at 168, so it's unknown at this time what weight this fight would be at.
As of 2017, it was at 18.4 million. So that's
a lot less than Japan, which has a population of 90 million.
All of them watch.
Let's see I say 100. Matt says
100% viewership. Then it's great, right? The whole country is behind it.
Now, Rob, do Japan. Look that population up.
You know this already.
I'm gonna guess 80 something. 88.7 million.
I said over 100. It's 126.8.
Damn it. Digressing though. Guys, thought do we want this fight?
He's only getting 20 million people watching. Is he a star? Is he really?
Yeah, yes. I don't care.
Out of 126.
That's a huge percentage of the population.
Nah, that's poor.
Rob, trolling today.
Anyway, but yeah, it's all right. I mean, I initially raised it. I think I just had Inoue Donaire in my head and was like, well, this was 3 a.m. in the fucking morning. I remember Matt done the graveyard shift live fight chat.
That'd be prime time in Japan.
Yeah, and I was like, this is ridiculous. And then Asian Boxing come out, and I was like, well, that's cool then. Then I've got no problem with it, really. Apart from why Murata? You want to? What is it? Bucket list stuff? You want to fight in Japan? Whoop-de-doo.
Well, let me ask the question, and I want you to answer, Rob, and then I want Gary to answer it. Would you rather see Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, Andrade, Charlo than Murata?
Yeah.
Yes. Gary?
Yeah. From an entertainment standpoint.
What the pause was that?
Yeah, you can't pause on that question.
From an entertainment standpoint, I'd rather see Murata than Billy Joe Saunders. Now, I think Billy Joe Saunders has a chance to be competitive in the fight. I don't know that he can win. but he can be more competitive. But Murata fight's going to be a fun fight. Canelo's going to get hit in that fight, and I think he eventually knocks him out.
Like he hit Rob Brandt in that fight, yeah.
I can't. Gary, you're because the next topic you're gonna rant about how Canelo Charlo is the best fight that needs to happen. You better be in here saying that no, Murata does not deserve a Canelo fight. There's 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that deserve a Canelo fight more than Murata.
Okay, fine.
You cut out.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Murata hasn't really earned it, although you know he really hasn't earned it. He hasn't. But like it's still a fun fight. Like he's still competitive in the fight. And I think Murata's good. Like he destroyed Rob Brandt. Nobody's pushing that level of control. I understand that. But like you guys talk about Murata like he's some C-level cab driver. Murata's really good. Like offensively, that guy's a
No, he's not.
No. On. Gary, first off,
isn't really good.
First off, Gary, can you please refresh your page because you're cutting in and out a little bit and you're making good points and I want people to hear you. Here's the thing. Murata is good. He's a top 7 middleweight. No, he is. He's a top 7, 6 middleweight. He is, Rob. But here's the thing. He's still only a top 6 or 7 middleweight. Let me go back to Gary. Get him on the screen. Gary, your point that Murata is good, he's entertaining, that he provides some value in terms of just pure violence is true. But he's still a 7th ranked middleweight in the world. At best. Maybe 6. You know, like guys like Derevchenko are more deserving of a fight with Canelo.
Where is he ranked at 168?
Let's be honest here. You're talking about legacy. All the guys are mentioned. Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Charlo, Triple G, hell, Better Beef at 175. Those are all way more legacy-defining fights than Ryota Murata in Japan. That's a check mark for filling out the Tokyo Dome and doing like 80,000 plus there. That's all you want to do in Tokyo, which is cool. I get it. But that's not a better fight than 8 other fights that could happen in May.
It's not better in the sense that he's more deserving than those guys you just named. I don't want to see Canelo fight the guys at 175. I mean, go fight the guys at your own natural weight. You did it. You pulled it off. Now go back down to your more natural weights, right? Like you beat Kovalev. Cool. Awesome. Go fight the guys at 60 and 68 who are more your size.
Cool. That's still 6 guys that we're talking about that deserve. Okay.
So, fine. Those other names, Billy Joe Saunders, he's got a win over David Lemieux and Willie Nelson. Who else has he really beaten that makes his resume so much better than
Andy Lee, Chris Eubank Jr.?
Chris Eubank Jr., though. I mean, that's just a name because his dad was full-time.
Look, it doesn't matter. Murata's beat Rob Brandt after he lost to him. Like, I don't, like, sorry. Like, no, there's no way you can spin it that Billy Joe Saunders has a worse resume.
No, he does. I'm just saying, I was a Billy Joe Sanders fan for a long time. I was singing his praise after the Monroe fight and the Chris Eubank fight, and we found out Chris Eubank was a bust. But like, his resume is not all that great. Like,
it's light years better than fucking Murata's.
Yeah, it probably because he's got, like I said, he's beat Spike Sullivan years ago. He beat Eubank years ago. He's got Andy Lee. He beat years ago. He's got names on his resume. You're right. It's not. Sanders' resume isn't a terrific resume, but it is pretty good when you go back and look at the names on it. You're right. Murata's resume.
I mean, if we're talking about pure resumes, Gary, he has a better resume than all of the Canelo opponents we're talking about, except for maybe Triple G. And even then, I would maybe argue Saunders has a partially better resume than Triple fucking G. You can make that argument. Like Callum Smith, I think has a better resume than Callum Smith. We're going to talk Jamal Charlo, better resume than Jamal Charlo. We're talking about Andrade. Come on, like it's not even a question. Like, and look, I'm not a Billy Joe fan. Like you, I think the fight's a less entertaining fight, whatever that fucking means. But that doesn't matter. We live in boxing. We live in sports. Some sporting events are entertaining. Some aren't. Some are boring. Some are for the purist. And a Canelo Billy Joe Saunders fight is for the purist. But it's still the better fight. Light years, exponentially better than Ryota Murata.
Sure, but it's like asking who would you rather have seen in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs or the Titans? Well, obviously, I'd rather see the Chiefs because it's going to be a more entertaining game than watching one guy run the ball up the middle 15, 20, 25 times a game, right? Like,
I don't care. I don't care. I want the best fights. Okay, I don't want some promoter talking point about how this fight's super entertaining. Fans are gonna love it. Bullshit. Fuck out of here. Okay, Canelo knocking out James Kirkland's cool, but it's fucking knocking out James Kirkland. Who gives a fuck? Go fight the real guys.
Who's on the comeback?
Taking those black pills, man. You know how it is.
Murata's a better version of James Kirkland, so it's kind of like look, Canelo.
It's a bullshit tune-up. And Murata, to his credit, is still a top 7 guy. That means there's 6 other motherfuckers that deserve the shot above you. Right? That's the logic I have. Let alone 168, which throwing David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. We're talking about fights that are better, that have more meritocracy to it. Those are better fights for Canelo.
Yeah, but those absolutely. But those fights were meant. If you could give me any opponent, I would say either Benavidez or Caleb Plant. But those fights really haven't been discussed. You know what I'm saying? If they were, I would say go make those fights. Go make a Benavidez fight. Go make a Caleb Plant fight because those are wars. I love those fights.
Well, you know what?
But
discuss it, Gary. You're saying like there's no discussion. Then start the discussion.
Caleb Plant versus Canelo needs to happen. That fight needs to happen. End of next year, the latest. And within Canelo's next 4 fights, that fight better happen.
I agree completely. And I'll tell you this, Canelo de Benavidez fight would be entertaining, like you said, would be an all-violent, all-action fight, and actually have merit, actually have legacy defining matter around it. It would just be an important fight. This is a big fight in Japan. And Murata is a great gatekeeper to the stars at middleweight. But that's kind of what he is. You know? And that's fine. And it's a money fight for Canelo. Why is there echo? Is it someone playing YouTube? No. It's obviously a money fight for Canelo. It's a way to offset costs for DAZN, as Rob alluded to, because Fuji TV would come in, and obviously because they would have the rights in Japan, they would pay DAZN to have rights to this fight because this is a Canelo fight, and therefore it would offset a lot of the costs for a Canelo fight. Vice versa, it being in Las Vegas against Triple G, and DAZN really has to, put up the full price of that fight. I get it, but that doesn't excuse better fights not happening. And I'm not assigning blame to anyone here. I'm not assigning blame to Canelo. DAZN. I don't care to assign blame right now. I'm just saying there are better fights on the table. Let's start having those topics of conversation.
Of those 3 names, Murata, I guess you guys are throwing him off. Caleb Smith, Billy Joe Saunders. Which one would you most prefer to see? Caleb Smith?
Billy Joe.
Okay.
Rob?
Well, look, if Canelo does this at 160 and takes the regular bout from Murata, he can then, in a melting pot, forge them into one, and we are one regular bout less than we were. And, not all heroes wear capes.
Just wait till
our heroes wear gloves.
Just wait till Derevchenko versus Terriano Johnson's made for that vacant regular belt.
No, man, Derevchenko, he's mandatory for Charlo, right? So
yeah, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, but come on, it's the WBA.
This is his 3rd mandatory shot in 18. How does he keep doing this? Like, who does he have pictures of?
I'm shot. Ludabella, that's as far as guys. I mean,
one big sanctioning body party.
When you have a Hall of Fame promoter, Gary, like Ludabella, it helps.
The Hall of Fame
if he didn't have the chin of God, he would have been knocked the fuck out. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's just not what I expected. I know there was talk of it. I thought maybe it was a bit further down the line, this Murata thing. I mean, you say he's a top 7 middleweight, but is he a top anything super middleweight? Because that's where it's going to be, right? He'll probably be at that, won't it?
Dom, and then Dom's a super middleweight.
Stop. The fight he had fought at super middleweight, but his entire career was at middleweight.
Yeah, Callum Smith fired him at super middleweight.
Who did he just beat the end of last year?
Who?
Murata. He fought on ESPN.
He did.
Brown.
No.
Oh no, just now.
It was a New Year's Eve card.
It was the one that was going to fight, the one that avoided Andrade.
Stephen Butler.
Stephen Butler.
The Canadian guy.
Yeah, he didn't want to fight Andrade. He wanted to fight. Didn't want an actual title shot. He wanted the
money,
a regular title shot.
Just, like thinking like for the money involved, and I think it would be good for boxing to grow, like put it in Japan and have a huge event there. And I don't think Murata is like a bad opponent, so I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a more entertaining fight than watching Canelo fight Billy Joe for 12 rounds.
Look, Japanese boxing is fine. If Canelo fights there this year or he doesn't, Japanese boxing is the same, probably. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, and even this is not true, but like Eddie's saying, like, look, Saudi Arabia doesn't have boxing, so we're going to open up a whole new market. A whole new generation is going to happen, which is bullshit. But like, that argument doesn't fly here either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be a big moment. It'd be a big moment for the year for probably Japanese sports, but you know, I don't know what the long-lasting effects of a Canelo one-off in Japan is against a big star there. You know, like if Murata was Inoue, where he had like, let's say he had belts at 147, 154, and now at 160, right? You know, he pound for pound fighter, right? Like, imagine that world. Then it's an entirely different conversation. But Murata's not that guy. You know, he's a top 10 perennial guy, which is fine. And this is an okay fight, I guess, but it's just an okay fight. It can never be anything above that because of Murata's stance and where he places in the division. Anyone else has any other thoughts about Canelo Murata? No. Then let's get to the topic I know. The Canelo topic I know Gary really wants to talk about. And what presser was this? Like, who was this for? Jason Quigley?
I guess it was Quigley. I don't know.
No, it was Ryan Garcia media workout.
Yeah, the February 14th the card.
That's right. I probably should have been looking at my email. I probably could have seen something about that. Sorry, man. My bad. Dude, ever since like PBC's been sending me emails now, they send me way too many emails.
Oh God. Come on.
It's all just Swanson Communications. Like, it's just all of it. I'm like, oh my God. But digressing.
Come on.
For what?
100 million. No, 100K by May.
Oh, yeah. 100K. Yeah. Okay. God, that bullshit.